Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. This is actually part of a playlist of me trying to learn the top 100 cryptocurrencies from the CoinMarketCap website. I welcome you to join me in this journey, as well as me doing live videos on news stories that happen on a daily basis. Click the subscribe button down below, and you can also click the little bell notification to get live updates of when I go live. And you can actually jump in, and I encourage you to be part of the Team Glen live chat that we have going during the live content. If you like this style of content, give this video a thumbs up. Also comment down below any thoughts that you may have of anything that I've said in this video. You can also follow me outside of the YouTube comment section on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, all with the name Glen. Or if you really want to be part of Team Glen, you can actually join in the Telegram group chat, which is in the description down below. Follow that link and you'll be able to chat to me as well as all the other guys that have followed me since the beginning of this journey. And if you really want to help support me and this channel grow, I'm not trying to shill or sell any coins in particular. I'm actually trying to support myself using the Team Glen brand that me and Team Glen helped design together, and we actually have a website called teambitglen.com, so head over to there and purchase a piece of merchandise if it tickles your fancy. So let's get into the main content of today. Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the daddy of all cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin. Now, there's a lot to discuss with Bitcoin. I could literally talk about different aspects of Bitcoin for a good couple of hours, half a day, whole day. And there's loads of YouTubers out there that are doing really good informational videos about Bitcoin. I'm just going to try and break it down in a very quick, easy, digestible information for you guys to take away and do what you want with it, as you will. So Bitcoin is the very first cryptocurrency that was about. It was created by a person called Satoshi Nakamoto. No one actually knows who he is. After he released Bitcoin into the world, no one's actually discovered who he is. So we don't actually know who he is. I think this is a good thing. It means that there's no one person that we can go to and say, oi, Bitcoin should be this, Bitcoin should be that, Bitcoin should change. It's been released in the wild and that is it. And it's up to people whether they want to use it or not, and whether they want to help develop and contribute towards the system of Bitcoin. But what is a Bitcoin? So a Bitcoin is a piece of code. It's a mathematical equation that has been solved by a computer and therefore generated a code. That code is then stored in a wallet. A bit like I have a wallet here. I store cash in my wallet, and generally when you have cash, not that I've got any at the minute, when you have cash, it generally has a code. If you look somewhere on your cash, there's a code somewhere printed, and police can track that code, where it came from, what printer it came from, what ink was used to make that note. And it's the same with Bitcoin. Someone sends me a transaction, my processing power, or the miners, sorry, they mine, and we'll get into them in a second. They confirm a transaction and they generate a code to confirm that that transaction is honest, true, and where it came from, what wallet, what time it was sent, and what time I received it, and what wallet it's gone to, and how much of a Bitcoin is in that code. So you have these codes. You could print them off onto bits of paper and you could put them in your physical wallet, because once you have the private key for that code, a private key is a code that unlocks the access to that Bitcoin, you can actually print that on a piece of paper. So when people say you can't touch or feel Bitcoin, technically you can print the code off, you have it in your wallet, and if anyone ever said to you, oi, pay for this now, you can say, yeah, sure. Do you accept Bitcoin? Right, you know, and access your private key and transfer them over whatever Bitcoin equates to what they're asking for. So you can technically hold it, but generally it's a digital money. It's a code on your computer that you store using software wallets, not physical wallets. Now, one of the reasons that Bitcoin has its value. As I mentioned earlier, it hasn't been hacked yet, it hasn't been overtaken, it hasn't been shut down. All these computers you think all over the world, even I was looking to mine myself. You know, that means you're part of the system. For a government or for an entity to come in and say, right, let's shut Bitcoin down, they'd have to go around to every computer that is mining or helping transact Bitcoin and shut it down, which is near impossible. It also means that it's very hard for one person to hack as well. If someone hacked my computer and tried to process a transaction that wasn't true, they would have to get all the other computers to agree that that transaction went through and what time it was sent, where it was sent from, where is it going, how much of a Bitcoin. And once they did that, once the system realized actually that's a fake transaction, it would reject it, the other person wouldn't receive it, and it wouldn't go through. So the more people help contribute towards Bitcoin, the bigger and more powerful Bitcoin gets, which is quite scary, I suppose. So this information that's sent from one person to another, I want to send my wife Becky some Bitcoin. I send her one whole Bitcoin. That has a code. She receives the code. How does she receive that code, and how is it confirmed from me to her that that is an honest code and that it is actually genuine money? Well, in the original white paper of Satoshi Nakamoto, he decided that people that work out transactions should be rewarded. So these are blocks. These are blocks of data that are worked out every minute, every 10 seconds, every day. And in these blocks is so much information. There's a certain amount of data that is held on these blocks, and they are worked out every day. Every person that works out one of these blocks is rewarded. That is why they're called miners. If you think of someone digging for gold, they are rewarded when they dig enough to find a piece of gold. If you mine digitally, you are rewarded when you work out one of these blocks. You've dug into that block and you've completely cleared it, and you are rewarded with some Bitcoin, which you therefore can sell on. So they all confirmed that that transaction was true. Becky receives it, and now she can shop with it or do whatever, send it to wherever she wants it to go. Again, this code can't be copied, it can't be manipulated, it can't be sent on. So therefore, if I wanted Becky's code back, if I said, well actually Becky, I want, do you want to send me that half a Bitcoin back? She might say, well no, I want it now because I'm going to use it to buy a Lamborghini or whatever it is that she's going to use it for. So therefore I have to say, well look, I'll give you, $100 US for it. She might say, well no, actually I want $200 US. It doesn't mean that that code is worth $200. In theory it's worthless, it's got no inherent value, it's just worth one Bitcoin is worth one Bitcoin, and that's it. But obviously I want to get it from her to me. That is where the value of Bitcoin fluctuates. The more demand there is, the more people there are saying I want it, and the more people saying, well, give me this, therefore the price of it will always go up or down depending on how much demand there is for Bitcoin. So when people can't get their head around, well, why is it worth 8,000? Do you know why it's worth 8,000? Because that's what people at this point in time are willing to pay for it. Same with my house, same with my car. Why is a Lamborghini worth so much as opposed to a Ford KA or Ford Focus or whatever? They both do the same thing, but one is inherently worth more because we're willing to pay more for that car. If there's only 1,000 cars made, now I need to outbid other people. The company themselves then realise, okay, we reckon we can get away with charging this much for it, and that's the price of a Lamborghini. So that's a really basic terms of a speculative market. It's only worth what people are willing to pay for it. So you have to bear that in mind when you're paying $8,000 for a Bitcoin. It's not worth that, and that's me. But yeah, I love Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's awesome. I love the tech, so I'm not trying to be negative or put it down in any way, but it's only worth what people are willing to pay for it. Now what that means is if you buy a Bitcoin, the price of it could drop tomorrow. If people decide, you know what, I've just read this article and I believe Bitcoin's only worth $100, the price will just slump down to whatever people are willing to pay for it. So make sure you only invest what you're willing to lose. Or if you're in the mindset I am, I'm trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can in the quickest amount of time as possible, because I believe, it's just a belief, not financial advice, that Bitcoin will go up in price and it will at some point play a major role in our human society. I'm getting a bit too deep now, so that's my opinion. So another misconception that I want to quickly squash is that people believe that you have to own one whole Bitcoin to get involved, which is complete rubbish. We can see here, this is my GDAX account. This is an exchange that I use to buy and sell different coins. But you can see here, my Bitcoin amount is actually 0.08204,248. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means I don't own one whole Bitcoin. I own 8% of a Bitcoin. Which doesn't sound a lot. Now, what people in the industry have come to do is name a decimal point of a Bitcoin a Satoshi, which is reference or homage to the creator of Bitcoin, and Satoshi Nakamoto. So if we look at it here, this last digit you can see here is an 8, so I have 8 Satoshis there. If we actually read it that way rather than the other way, it actually reads that I've got 8,204,248 Satoshis. That sounds really impressive. If you say to someone in the street, you know, I own some cryptocurrency, I own some Bitcoin, I actually owe 8.2 million Satoshis, they would say, oh my God, you must be a millionaire. Well, no, it's actually worth about, you know, probably $100 or $800, something like that at the minute. But obviously that will go up as one Bitcoin is worth more. Obviously 8% of $1 million is, you know, 80,000 or whatever. So it will go up in price. So that's why I want to accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can. So this means though that you watching this video, you can get involved in Bitcoin if you only have $10, $100, $200, whatever. You can get involved, you can own some Bitcoin, and you can start buying and selling and trading. It's all completely open source to anyone. You don't need a license as of yet. It isn't majorly regulated across the world, and there isn't any one company that can change the rules or laws of a Bitcoin. It's out there for everyone to see and use, and it's entirely up to you whether you get involved or not. So we have Bitcoin. We understand roughly the basic premise of sending it from one person to another. You don't just need to own one whole Bitcoin. The reason I bring that up is that I just find the notion so odd that people say that. The thing that I keep coming back to is, well, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to own one whole $1 million, you wouldn't say, oh, I haven't got $1 million, so there's no point in me getting involved. I don't want your $1,000. You would, you know, 1,000, then you would accumulate 2,000, then 3,000, 10, 20, and you'd have to save your money up that way. So it's just odd to me. But get involved at whatever price point you can get into. Bitcoin's been going now for about, I believe, 7 or 8 years. It started off, according to this graph, this is on a website called 99bitcoins.com. The actual main website that a lot of people use is CoinMarketCap, but it actually only shows you the history of Bitcoin up to 2013. So going back a bit further than that, head over to 99bitcoins.com and you can actually view the history of Bitcoin. So rather than me trying to explain to you, and it will take, you know, an hour or so for me to explain key points over the whole timeline of Bitcoin, you can come over here and read this yourself. You can just highlight them and it tells you roughly what happened when. But you can see here, let's get rid of the events, hide events. You can see here the price of Bitcoin just steadily rising over many years, and as the popularity of it and as mass adoption comes into it, the price skyrockets. Now nothing has changed, nothing has got better or worse, or there hasn't been any major marketing or advertising. It's just the demand. As the demand goes up, so does the price of Bitcoin, because there is only 21 million Bitcoin ever going to be created. Now, 16, I think almost 17 million of those have already been created. Yeah, just under 17 million. So therefore, we only have another 4 million Bitcoin that is going to be generated from the mining process, and as rewards for working out those blocks. They're going to keep continuing until they hit that 21 million, and that's it. It's going to stop. Therefore, there's only a limited supply. There's only so much to go around. So therefore, the more people that want it, the less of it that there is, which means that each one of those is going to go up in value, you would believe. Out of those 17 million, just a little fun fact, I believe there's a quote going around that at least 4 million of those have been lost. So if I was to lose my wallet with $100 in it and it got chucked in the bin, it'd be pretty hard for me to trace and find that wallet again, unless someone randomly picked it up out of the garbage in a dump field site. It's very unlikely to find it again. Same with Bitcoin. If you store your Bitcoin on a USB stick, a hard drive, a laptop, whatever, if you then lose that laptop or it gets burned and you didn't save any of your information, you didn't save any of your private keys or the code, you've lost it. So therefore, there's, you know, people are saying at least 4 million of that has gone. So there is actually only probably about 13 million Bitcoin to go around in the world at the moment. But at some point that will reach about 17 million, and therefore that will be it. That's all there is to go around. And obviously I assume people are going to lose Bitcoin between now and then, so that figure may go up even more. So a few reasons there why Bitcoin, I believe, is going to steadily rise in price over the years. I believe that it's a currency that anyone can use from any country. You don't have to speak a particular language. You don't have to be part of a certain religion. It's free for everyone to get involved in. So therefore, it's going to be a currency of the world that we can all use and trust. A couple of little key points I wanted to go on to. There is actually an official website called bitcoin.com. You have to be careful of this because it's actually owned by a gentleman that is very incentivized to talk about Bitcoin Cash. So when you actually look at this website, you'll always see articles about Bitcoin Cash, which I think is very deceiving. So you have to be a bit careful what you read through there. Again, remember, there is no official Bitcoin page. Bitcoin isn't owned or run by anyone. There's no marketing campaign for Bitcoin. If people did market it, they'd have to pay for it out of their own pocket. This actual website is owned by someone called Roger Ver. He actually owns Bitcoin Cash, or he is a large player in Bitcoin Cash, sorry, and it's in his best interest to big up Bitcoin Cash as much as possible. But conflict of interest, he owns bitcoin.com, and I believe he owns the official Twitter of Bitcoin. So you'll notice that in these Bitcoin social medias, they talk about Bitcoin Cash, which is a bit annoying because I think it misleads people that want to get involved in Bitcoin. Hence why I'm doing videos like this, trying to spread the word and trying to be as neutral as possible. So that's really it from Bitcoin. The reason I started this video off by saying it's the daddy of cryptocurrencies, that is because it gave birth to a sea of other coins that are out there. Bitcoin was the first blockchain to sort of take part, and other coins, which are referred to as altcoins because they're alternative, they have forked, which means they've split off a different path. So Bitcoin's on this path, and someone's come along and said, do you know what, I think there should be a Bitcoin but for privacy, where no one can see who sends what. I believe Bitcoin should be faster. I believe Bitcoin should be more transparent, should have different implementations included in the blockchain of information that's worked out. So people, developers, cryptographers, people that can actually write this code have created their own coins that have forked off of the main Bitcoin path, the blockchain if you like. So that has created a lot of coins, a lot of people getting in on this, and some coins are really genuine and have some really good promise. Some of them are complete garbage. I'm going to be looking to do a top 100 coin video series. This is the very first one. Bitcoin's #1, so I thought we're better to start than Bitcoin. I'm going to be looking at the top 100 cryptocurrencies on this market as of today. But as you can see here, there are currently 1,575 coins, and that figure is getting added to every single day. Every day there is another couple of cryptocurrencies that are getting added. So it's going to become very overwhelming for someone to jump in. But the best place to start is Bitcoin. And then from there, you can obviously then decide which projects you feel are up and coming. A bit like Bitcoin, Bitcoin actually started off, if we go back to that 99 Bitcoins page, if we look back in 2010, Bitcoin was worth 5 cents. 5 cents, that's what people were buying and selling a whole Bitcoin for between themselves. And as the demand went up, so did the price, and currently we're at 8,000 today. There was an all-time high of about $19,000, so just under the 20k mark, which maybe one day will eclipse that as well. So you could say that about some of these other coins. Some of them are garbage, some of them are not. We're going to have a little look between us. If you're watching this video series, we're going to have a look at the top 100, see which ones are good, which ones are bad, and I'll just give my honest view on them. So that's really it, guys. I didn't want to do a really long video. I could talk for ages about mining, about the transaction process, the software development that's getting added to Bitcoin, the Lightning Network, SegWit, things that have happened over the last few years. But I'm not going to discuss all that. The video would be way too long, but I look forward to seeing you in my other videos. I do live videos almost every day, where I give my honest views on things that have happened on that day in the world of cryptocurrency. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and follow me on any social media: Telegram, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, all named BitGlen. And I look forward to chatting to you guys soon. If there's anything in this video that you feel like I should have pointed out or I've mentioned wrong, please comment in the section below, because I love reading your feedback and I like to know where I've done something wrong, or if you agree with something that I've said in the video. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video from BitGlen. See you later, guys. Bye.